Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to our training today. We'll be talking about continuous improvement. Today, I'm a presenter, Emmanuel Mailu. As I said, we'll be working on continuous improvement. So we will start by looking at what continuous improvement is to make ourselves aware and understand what exactly this continuous improvement is. So, continuous improvement is also known as continual improvement or Kaizen. It is the ongoing process of analyzing performance, identifying opportunities, and making incremental changes to process, products, and personnel. So, continuous progress is just as the name suggests. Each day you make a substantial improvement, or you ensure that your team or your product or your processes are improved by at least a percentage each day. So continuous improvement again is the process of analyzing performance, identifying opportunities, and making incremental changes to processes, products, and personnel. And you might ask, what exactly is the importance of this continuous improvement, or the CI? One, it saves time, as with efficiency or understanding of that continuous improvements makes your processes even more swift, which saves time. It also increases the efficiency, accuracy, and effectiveness of both the individual or the processes, which again saves time and makes the output more quality, of higher quality, competitive. And again, CI, it is very important in individual career growth. If, for example, you're looking to hit some goals in the near future, or in the middle, in the short term, or in the long run, you'll need to ensure that you improve yourself continuously to reach that goal. For example, a junior staff who aspires to grow to a managerial position, what you need is keep growing, continuous improvement through and through, which you'll make mistakes, you'll learn through them, and now you'll be more accountable, so that it boosts your career growth. Also, another importance of CI is that it boosts individual confidence and awareness. So this continuous improvement makes one very knowledgeable. Once you're knowledgeable, you understand you boost your confidence, that you know what you are selling, you know what product makes, what ingredients have been used to make what product. So approaching the customer and also selling your services or products becomes easier as you are more confident and self-aware. It also heightens the competitiveness. So one, with continuous improvements, it makes the team more solid, more cohesive, that everyone understands this is where we are coming from, this is where we are going, these are our organizational goals, and so this is exactly what we want to achieve. Once you know what you are competing for, you set your eyes on the prize, which again makes it very, very easy to compete. Also, with the high knowledge, it means that when you offer excellent or seamless services to your guests and customers or your target audience. Through this, you become very competitive. Besides, CI helps in reduction of wastage through one, understanding your goal or what you do, exactly understanding this is how we do this, so that will minimize one, errors that come with lack of knowledge. Also, it becomes something which is inbuilt. One, inbuilt in that you internalize the processes. After here, this is what we do. After this stage, this is the next stage. So with that, you reduce wastage and enhance the productivity. Besides, continuous improvement assists or aids in attracting and retaining top talents. So the market is very competitive, and for organizations should have a pulling power for the top talents. So to have this pulling power, one, you have to have a continuous improvement plan for your existing employees so that your top employees would not want to leave. They will feel like this is a place where I can grow. This is a place where I see hope. This is a place where I feel valued. This is a place where I continue to improve my skills. I continue to improve myself and my career. I feel it is growing. So through this, you one, retain the top talents that you have. Besides, these employees that you have, these are your ambassadors. These are your brand ambassadors. They sell your organization to the outside world. Then, by telling their friends, their families, and their colleagues, so I work here and I feel like this place is the best because of how I feel like I grow each and every day. So through this continuous learning, you bring employees from a junior level, then now they can feel they are growing. So even minus the promotions or being given higher positions, they can feel like as much as I am in this position, I feel empowered. I feel I can take even more responsibility. So through that, they retain their positions or their position at the organization. Besides, so through that ambassadorial talks and people feeling proud to be in that organization. Now, the outside world knows about your organization. They know, wow. So if this person feels this about this organization, then definitely it must be a good place. I like to try to work there. I want to experience what it is to be like there. So with that, again, you attract the top talents. Besides, everybody wants to growth in different ways. So also learning something new and that continual improvement. So through that, you also attract top talents. Besides, another importance of CI is the developing the organization into a learning institution. So learning institutions are the ones that deal mostly have like specialists and all that. So you might come in as a amateur and you learn in the organization. You become an expert uh, in a certain scope. So through that, the organization builds you to equips you and it develops you to be a specialist. So one, by being a specialist, you now become an asset where you feel like now this is my area of speciality where you learn and also you teach others who come after you. So with that, the continual learning and teaching others and also maintaining that now the high quality production. These high quality productions will lead to now this organization is known for this, and through that you work hard to maintain that position in that organization. So you develop your organization into a learning institution through continuous improvement. Besides, you deliver better overall results. So through continuous improvement, you get to understand who your stakeholders are, from the owner's vision to the customer expectations, understanding the environment that you are running in, and also who are your competitors, what are the threats, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses and opportunities. So with that, you can analyze and now develop yourself, equip yourself better to utilize each and every single opportunity that comes through. To also know this is our weakness and this is how we make ourselves stronger. So through that, you make your overall results better. You understand the systems you are working in. You become aware of technological changes and the different changes that are coming through the field. What are the factors affecting the business? What are the government policies? What is the political uh, stability like in the area, and how is it affecting your business? So through that, you focus both on the internal factors and the external factors, so that with that you manage every single resource very well, which results to a better overall result. Besides the resources, also the human part, or the human capital, or the human resource, you also manage it quite well, that you have the best team. Once you have the best competent team, then you are assured of the best output, because one, from they understand the productions or what you do in that particular organization from the start to the end. Then so they can be able to explain to your customer, this is it, and this is the best, because you should take our services because of this and this. And with a good explanation, the customer will feel, wow, you really understand what you are selling. And if you are this confident about it, then why not? I feel like I should try it. And once they try it, because of now the good utilization of the various resources, you also ensure that they try it and the quality is the best. So through that, you retain the customers. They also go tell their friends and all that. Then you get new customers and you keep growing. So those are the importances of CI, or continuous improvement. So, but how do you implement now this continuous improvement? One, there are several ways to implement the CI. You can use tools like the retrospective, or to foster a culture of improvement by analyzing what happened in the past or the cause of an outcome. We tried this method before and it worked, or these were the results. Also, we tried another method. What was the outcome? Was it something we can adopt? Is there an idea we can copy from? Or what was the projected idea? Although it failed, what was the idea? Can we now improve it? Can we check on it? And also, so this particular company tried this particular model, but the results were not as pleasing. So you cannot choose that model. So you check on what happened in the past, so that you can now analyze the possible outcome. So if it is, for example, the modes of training, some are very traditional, and again, you look at your workforce. For example, you have the very young, or the new generation that is now taking on the workspaces. They are the things that they are into. For example, technology. So you have to implement methods that are compliant with the new models or the trends that are currently in place, so that one, if you are undertaking trainings, they be effective, so that you don't have to beat around the corner. Like be wasting your time in your training, but the trainings are not being implemented. Why? Because the people you are training, well, they are not understanding. And why are they not understanding? The model of training that you are using is not captivating to them, so they are not concentrating. So to avoid that, you check on, now how am I doing it, how am I inducing this improvement to my team. So you have to balance between you check on the previous models used, and now you compare the outcomes. Another way of implementing the continuous improvement is the use of plan, do, check, act principle, or the PDCA principle. So this one is for interactive change. So using this, it is a plan, do, check, act. So it is a step-by-step process. You can also use techniques like the 5 whys, so which involves inquiring on why, on the happenings of an act. For example, why did this happen? Where did it happen? So through that, you get to analyze the data, you understand now this is how it happened, this is why it happened, and this is how I could curb it. Or now you get to understand the source or the cause of the problem. For this section, we will look more into the plan, do, act. So with that cycle, the PDCA cycle, the plan, do, check, act cycle. So for the step 1, plan. So this is where you identify the problem. Then after identification of the problem, you do the next step, which is test possible solutions. So after checking the possible solutions, you check. So in this check, you verify the effectiveness of each solution that you came up with. Then now you go to the last step of act. So in act, you implement the best possible option. So after evaluating all your options and checking the effectiveness of each, now you settle for the best option. So after acting, now you also have to keep now monitoring, so that you can seek feedback and compare the expected result to the actual result. So we'll go each and every stage, starting with the plan. So number 1 is the planning stage. So here you gather data and identify the problem or area of improvement. 2, you set clear objectives and define success criteria. Develop an action plan with specific tasks and deadlines. So basically, in this stage is where you ask yourself, what is the problem? And how do you identify the problem? By gathering data. Maybe you seek feedback from your employees, you check on guest feedback, you compare your the actual outcome versus what you're getting, and ask yourselves, why is our quality lower than we expect? Is our machinery up to par? Are we really using the correct procedure? So you have to identify the problem or area for improvement. You also have to enact the need assessment. So 1, what is it that we need? What is our problem? Then you can identify what is the problem. Besides, now you have to set clear objectives and define the success criteria. So this is more like the objective. What are the objectives of what we want to do? For example, in training, you have to set a clear objective of, by the end of this training session, the learner should be able to do this and this. So if the learner will not be able to do that, then you have to go back and review. Was the training done as required? Did I conduct each and every segment clearly? Was it understood? Then if it was understood, why are they not implementing? So you also have to go an extra mile and check on their now individual or the human part. Are this the rate at which each and everyone understood? So understands. You have to get it clear, differentiate between the capabilities of the different people that you have. So with that, you now set the timelines. For example, some depending also with what you are training, or so some are some demand for longer time, others are short time. So you have to differentiate between the two. Understand this is what I'm doing, and it will take this long to get exactly what I want to achieve. Also, you have to know this is again what I want, and this one will take this amount of duration to be successful. Also, you have to check on other factors like costs, or the in cost of production, and also the after sale cost. So you have to differentiate between the two so that you can now exactly be aware if is this a success or has this failed. So after you've set your objectives, which includes now what I want to do and how I want to do it. Now you develop an action plan with specific tasks and deadlines. One, you can break down the small task into 1, 2, 1, 2 steps, which with each step being you accomplish one step, then you tick. Or is it something that needs to be done continuously? Can it be broken down into phases? So also you have to check on your resources, both the capital, the human resource, and the organizational goals at large, so that you implement them accordingly. Don't push yourself too hard, don't be too soft. So you have to balance to ensure that this is something which I am actually able to undertake. The plans, again, the goals must be, you have to make them smart. Yes, that is, they have to be specific. This is exactly what I want to do. Measurable. How will I measure if I'm making a progress? Are they achievable? Are they realistic? And they must be time bound. Okay. So the next now step after you've set the development actions plans with specific task, who will be doing what and by when are you expected to have completed this, then you go now to the implementation plan. So the implementation plan, you execute the changes or improvement that you've designed. So if this was to be my step one, now you now start doing it. You ensure that everyone involved understand their role. This is through training, coaching, team working, being together, so that you ensure, as the team leader, ensure that your team understands their role. Because again, as they say, the strength of each team is each individual, and the strength of each individual is the team. So you have to ensure everyone is at par, working hand in hand with the other person, understanding. So that if everyone understands their role, we will be moving at the same speed, we will be moving together, and also we will be achieving the quality that we need, so that we don't have to go back to where we were. So through that, we will now be working hand in hand. So through continuous training, coaching, evaluation, or through that, now you can now ensure that the team understands their role, and you will avoid back and forth or the project failing. The next step is check. Now you have implemented your plan. So the next thing is to evaluate the result against the objectives. Compare actual outcomes with expected ones. Did the changes work as intended? If yes, motivate, encourage, and maintain. Make it a culture. Yes. So if these results are working, if you can see the progress is working, now don't stop. Accelerate. Make it now a norm. Ensure everyone is on board is now they fit to the system. Make it a culture. Ensure that they keep planning, they keep learning, they keep doing better, they keep the mistakes they were doing yesterday, they should learn on them and now correct them. Let us making more perfect as they train. So by in the long run, now it becomes that organizational culture where now you move with that speed. Again, it is not guaranteed that the results will work. So if no, re-engineer, re-strategize, amend, break down into smaller segments, conduct more trainings, set specific goals, regularly reflect on your progress. So with this, you can now trace back, check where, this is where I went wrong. This is where I feel like, oh my, where could we have missed? So once you do this, you be more keen on the details. Don't assume. And also ensure that the trainings are done better so that we don't have people letting us down. And also everybody, make sure everybody, wherever they are, one, they understand what they are doing. Make them understand why we are doing this. Make it a collective objective to move together, because if I don't understand why I'm doing this, then I will be down. I don't see the need of doing this. I don't know. I don't see the need why I should push myself harder. So once we are going together, the same pace, we will now get to where we want. So re-engineer, re-strategize, amend, break down into smaller segments, conduct more trainings, set more specific goals, and regularly reflect on your progress. So that again, you can tick step 1 was very successful, step 2 very successful. So when it comes to step 3, why is it not as successful as stage 1 and 2? So you don't also have to start over every time. You can now clearly see this is exactly where we went wrong. Then you correct that and you keep moving. Remember, your goals are time bound. So by the end of a specific period of time, you should now be having your results. So ensure that you re-energize, also motivate and keep the rhythm going. Also, use data and feedback to assess the effectiveness. Be very realistic. Yes. Also, ensure that the feedback you're getting is very honest, so that at least with that you can now be sure what to correct. Also, identify any deviations or unexpected outcomes. This may arise because of changes in a lot, the quantities that we projected versus what we used, also the cash flow that we expected, or if the budget we are working on, is it exactly or not? So depending on the deviations, some of the reasons that might come up. Also in the human resource, the skills that we were needed to do this, is it exactly what we have, or do we need now a more trained person to help us to train more or induce more knowledge on what we have, or is whoever we were we relying more on a specific person than as a team? So, and if the people the people we termed as our strong ones, are they reflecting the same? So do we need to outsource more manpower or more skills, or what exactly do we have? Why are we having these deviations? So you get to understand this is the reason we are having this. Then in the long run, now you undertake the needful changes. Additionally, the last step now is to do, based on the evaluation and the final outcome, you take the necessary action. So if it was successful, then you standardize the improvements. If not, adjust the plan and repeat the cycle. So if the plan went accordingly from step 1 to the last and it was very successful, you do it again, it is successful. Now you implement it, you can have it in your SOPs. Then make that now how we do this. Ensure this is done accordingly. Besides, if the process was not, also you can take a break or re-engineer again, check on is now. If we've tried this process severally and it is not giving us our expected results, then maybe it is not the ideal. So again, you go back to step 1, plan, set the goals, set the objectives, and see now how are we going to get here. If the process again was not we project this or we projected this, so you can change the projections. If we tried to get here but we failed using this method, remember that you cannot fail and keep failing and also repeat the same procedure and expect a different result. So you have to change something. You have to change how you are doing it. So ensure that you keep your eyes open, see wide, so that you can overcome the challenges. So make sure to repeat the cycle until you get it right. Remember, it is called the PDCA cycle, or the plan, do, check, act cycle. Okay? So what are factors affecting continuous improvement? This in an organization, there are various aspects that are put in place to ensure that you achieve your goals. So if these are the various factors that are put in place, then that means there might be some factors which again will affect the set goals. So through this one,